there, and we're back for the next part of the activity. I have fast forwarded through and colored all of my pieces, so hopefully you have done that part as well. What I did is I picked a theme for each one of my people. For instance, for Sammy, I picked BFF, which is obviously best friend forever. The Z's are what he likes to do, which is sleeping, and also some hearts around his friend's names. I left him white and then covered him in some purple there and gave him some rainbow colors. For Nemo, I made him gray, as narwhals are gray, and then I put some bubbles around and some water around him to give him his own personality. And then for Claudine, I colored the rainbow around her and made her sunshine and then some cloud for the Claudine part. The next part of the activity involved us making some little holes into our paper, and we're going to put them together so it forms a spine for our book, which would be the tail, and then the top, which would be the hat or the mane. So we're going to do that right now. You can pick what page you like first. I'm going to use Sammy first because Sammy's the first one we're introduced to. And I'm going to go ahead and take a small tack, but you can use a hole puncher or you can use whatever you like to poke the holes to make them large enough that we can stick the yarn through. I do have a multicolored yarn which will serve as my tail and my mane. I'm going to take my tack and I'm going to poke 3 small holes through all 3 pieces together in the order that I want them to be in. So I'm going to take Sammy first, Claudine second, and then Nemo as last. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to put small holes using my tacks into the 1, the 2, and the 3 pieces for my back end of my book. Now, if I'm using the tack, I'm going to use the tack in order to help me to be able to make the tail stay. So I'm going to tear off a piece of yarn that I like, maybe about a couple inches long. It doesn't have to be very long. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie a knot in one end of it. Then I'm going to put it around the first tack that I have here. And again, you can do this however you want to. I'm just choosing to use my tacks to give me a little bit of help when I go to thread them through. Then I'm going to pull my tack out, and I have a very small little hole. I'm going to use the tack again, or a knife or a pen or whatever, to make my hole a little bit bigger so that it will be able to fit a piece of yarn through it. So for the purposes of this class, I'm going to go ahead and put the tip of my scissors into my hole to cut myself a little hole so I can put that through. Using the tack, I'm going to push it through my hole as a needle. Or I don't have to use the tack. I can simply use the yarn itself to pull it through that little hole there. But the tack gives me a little bit of leeway to hold on to. So when I'm ready, I can pull that off like that. I can take the looped end and put it through the hole that I've created and pull it through. Then I have my first binder. I'm going to tie another knot in the top of my binder so that I have one small hole up top. And then I will remove my tack and put it away so it doesn't cause anybody to fall and trip on that. Now I have a hole and a knot, and I'm going to tie a second knot. Give myself a little bit of a knot so it doesn't come out. I'm going to do the second thing with my second knot around my second tack. tie a knot in that little piece there. And again, you don't have to use the tacks. The tacks are simply helpful for me to be able to use the guide. The tack is out. I'm going to pull that through. I take the little hole that I currently have made there. I'm going to poke it through with another object or my scissors. If I choose, I can use a pencil or otherwise. And I'm going to thread that knot right through that hole. I'm going to tie it again, opposite side, to give myself a nice knot. And tie it a second time to double that knot up. And that should give me another piece there. Then the third one, I'm again going to take and I'm going to put my knot through the hole that I created with the tack. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger with a pencil. Give myself a little bit of space to work with. And I'm going to pull the knot from the opposite side. If you have a needle, this also works. I do not have a needle, so I'm using my pencil. I'm taking my pencil to make a knot and a hole. And then I'm going to put my last knot through the last hole. Pull that through like so. And I have the book is now bound. I'm going to go back to the top. I'm going to tie these two together to give myself a little bit of extra room to work with so that it doesn't come apart. And I'm going to tie another knot in the top of my yarn. Now, I have my book is now bound together. One, page 2 and page 3 are now bound together. And I can trim off that last little part of the knot there. Now, I'm going to take the remaining yarn. I'm going to save that for another piece. I'm going to take another piece of yarn, about the same length as this one. And I'm going to tie them together. And now I'm going to create a pom-pom. I'm going to wrap it around my fingers a few times. I like 20. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I don't have enough, I can always add on another piece of yarn, which I will probably do now. So I only had enough for 10, so I'll cut another piece off. Give me enough to make 20. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Go for one more. 18, 19, 20. And again, I'm going to tie them all together to be able to have enough to do 20 yarn pieces. So you can tie them together at any spot on that yarn piece that you have. So you want to have enough yarn that you can roll 20 times. You can do that either by tying it together or by cutting it off long enough that you have that. It's up to you how you want to do that. You just need to have enough yarn to be able to wrap 20 times for small. Or tight as you like. I like 20 because I can use that, but it can be as tight as you like. I'm going to wrap it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Wrap it around there like that. Now I'm going to take one more piece, cut it off, and I'm going to tie it in the middle of my yarn ball. so it creates two splits. Make a double knot so it comes together in the middle there. Now I have two pieces, and I can leave it as is, or if I'm feeling adventurous, I can go back and I can snip off the ends, holding on to the pieces that connect it up so it doesn't come apart. Take my little scissors and cut up inside of it like that to give me a nice pom-pom. You don't have to do a pom-pom if you don't want to. I just like to give it a little bit of extra flair. And I like making pom-poms. So now I have a small little pom-pom. I can trim it off as I want to, or I can fluff it out, or however I want to do. If I don't like it, I can always remove the pieces of it. Cut off any straggly strings.